Oh, hey, 1 second. Okay, good. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's the Huggy Show with your boy, Huggy. I am fucking sick. Said this over the weekend, but late last night into early morning, oh boy, I was nauseous like a pregnant woman, bro. Oh, Lord. And, I was playing this game called Ghost of Tsushima on, one hit difficulty. I powered through it, but what has gotten me inspired to do the stream this morning is friend of the show, Den of Thames. Den of Thames is a maverick, a legend, I would say. This talent was live last night doing a tech talk, and I caught the tail end of it, and he was talking about Borderlands 4 and how Borderlands 4 is a massive fucking headache. What do I mean by that? See, the problem with Borderlands 4 is it's $80. Okay, you kinda expect it in this day and age, $80, even though it used to be 50. It was used to be 50 back in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Then went to 60. Now we get to 70. And bear in mind that if you pay $70 for a game, that's usually a special edition. That's usually, you get like a little tchotchke, like a keychain, uh, a steel case book. Like, I don't know if people remember that, but there are times where you have the regular plastic cover for your physical games, but then if you pay a little bit extra, you get this really nice, sturdy, fucking case with posters and maps and whatnot. Now you just pay 70 for the regular game. And what's even worse about Borderlands 4 is they double charged you if you buy the super duper fruper special edition of the game. You oh hold on. Hello friend. I don't know if I could hear you. 1 second.
Yep.
You're
Yellow.
muted. I don't know
Hey,
if anyone else can hear you. 1 second. If I
can you hear me
drag
now?
you, hold on. Oh,
Hello.
maybe you don't have. Let me see something. Roll chatter. Okay. You're created technically. Okay. Hold on. Try to come. Hold on. I'm gonna kick you, and then you're gonna come back. You can hear me.
Right.
Disconnect. Right. And then you can come back. That's weird. How come I couldn't hear you, buddy? Right. 1 second. Let me test out my audio real quick. And gamer.
Moving over?
Yeah, let's
I'll
do
move
it.
here.
Let's-
Great. Tony, we did it. You did it.
Okay, so it was a yeah.
You did it.
You did
We
it.
did it.
Yeah, perfect. So that should work. Hello? Hello? Mr.
Yeah.
Now that works. Hello, Mr. Timms. Hi.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Doing good. Your stream from last night had inspired me to really talk about this subject. Um, First off, like, I don't remember if you said this, but were you a big Borderlands fan?
Yes, I grew up playing Borderlands as a teenager. I remember when the first game came out, I was absolutely stunned by the graphics and the gameplay. And the storyline I really enjoyed, although the final boss was total bullshit, and honestly, it sucked. But I loved it still, and I was excited when the sequel had came out. Cause I remember me and my brother Roger, we would play Borderlands 2 all the time. If we weren't playing Call of Duty Black Ops, we were playing Borderlands 2.
Oh, nice.
Like that's what we.
Oh yeah. And that's where you fell in love with it?
That was when I fell in love with the franchise.
It
I
I yeah, sorry, you were saying?
I was saying I had skipped out on a pre-sequel mostly because I didn't really know about the game much about it until after it had long since came out. Uh, the biggest one I remember liking was when Borderlands 3 came out. I was absolutely stunned by it. I loved Borderlands 3. A lot of people hated it. I loved it.
Oh, I loved it too. I love the twins. They were obnoxious. I love the you going on the ship, going to different worlds. It was a hoot.
To me,
The
I love the way the weapon system was set up and how you
Yep,
could get these special abilities. Because like I did like a private playthrough of it because I wanted to play it again. And like
right.
my Zane had like this level 18 shotgun that did like double damage if my health was 50% or lower. So on top of hitting for over like 1,000 points, it would also do a bunch of radiation damage. So anytime I got knocked out, I'd just walk up and shoot someone with it and get right back up. It was so
Well,
brutal.
now we get to this point where Borderlands 4 people are hyped, they're excited, and then all of a sudden you have it to where the collector's edition of Borderlands 4 is $150, but guess what? No game. You have to buy the game separately. Now, as someone that is a very avid Borderlands fan, how mad would you have been if you dished out $150 plus for the special edition and then find out there's no game? Would you ask for a
Obviously,
refund or what?
I'd be fucking livid. I would be so livid because $150 and I'm not getting the game. It's like, what the hell did I buy?
You
But
bought
obviously, I
the
didn't get what I was think I was getting.
you bought the collector's edition. You bought the statues. You bought the posters. But God forbid you get the game. That's against the rules. You game? What game? You want the you you want the thing? I'm like, oh God. Look, Randy Pitchford is the most insufferable man this side of Phil Fish. If you guys don't know who Phil Fish is, Phil Fish was the guy who created Fez. The man had a superiority complex to the like we haven't seen since Vince McMahon, fucking Hulk Hogan, name another person I don't know, but like Randy Pitchford's out here talking about how, oh, on PC, yeah, your guys' hardware is not up to snuff. What the fuck you mean up to snuff?
Oh
It's
yeah, he made the statement that if you're playing the game on 2 or 3 year old hardware, you need to quote unquote consider dropping your settings. So what you're saying is because I have a 4090, it's not good enough for you. Even though the 4090 was the beast of its class, I can't play 4K at 60 frames a second with it. Not even a 5090, the modern day one, could do it. Explain to me how that makes sense. Explain to me how a $3,000 graphics card costs more than an iPhone Max Pro with 2 terabytes of storage can't play the game at 4K at 60 frames a second without the help of AI fake frame generation nonsense. How is that reasonable, logical, or any of the sort of above words that I just used? Like,
well,
how,
because everything is based upon AI frame generation type of thing. It's never about raw performance. But the problem is that, well, there's two concerns I have. Number one, is the Unreal 5 engine predicated on frame generation and AI nonsense? Because if it is, then that's a problem because you're not giving us, you're not allowing the hardware to really show its force. And another underlying problem that there is that what are you paying all the money for in the graphics card if everything is based upon on the software side? What's the point of having like this many CUDA cores or this much VRAM or this amount of tensor cores or whatnot? When all it is just you just are looking for AI stuff. That's number one. Number two, you shouldn't need frame generation for a game of that caliber. It's not like Borderlands is a visually demanding game. It's the same art style that has been there for the past 15 years, I would say.
yeah, it's
So,
associated cartoon style and animation game. As Hypnotic said, that's what it is.
it is
It's
a
not
visually
Crisis, it's
demanding
not
game.
Cyberpunk or anything like that, where it would make sense that you would need the heavier hardware and the help of AI to properly generate everything, which I disagree with that. That to me that says you're poorly optimizing your system, the game and the engine that it's running on. And I love the statement, why don't you code your own engine? We'll be your customer. Oh, I guarantee you, I know some people who could whip up that stuff in like 3 months' time, and it would be better than what you've got right now. I know you can because I know some people who actually did. It worked on like the Game Maker engine, if that sounds familiar.
Yeah, but that's the other issue I have. That's the other issue I have. This Unreal Engine is like there are games that performed beautifully. Uh, there's Claire Obscura that came out. The fucking, in my personal opinion, a sleeper hit. That ran on Unreal 5, and you didn't see anyone gave a fuck about that. That was a really true game breaking issue. It's like they took. That's the thing. When you take your time with something, in anything in life, guess what? If there are mistakes, it's just pimples, not gashes, not rashes. It's pimples, or like it's a little bump. That's all it is. With this, it's like It's like you just Borderlands 4's performance is the equivalent of the dog chewed up your homework and now you're just writing shit on the fucking tutor paper to give it to your teacher. That's how it is. Now, granted, before I go on to that, do you play on PC now or do you play on console, Tim's?
So I play the PlayStation 4. I haven't really touched the PlayStation 5 yet. I also play on Mac. There's a lot of games I play are on Mac, and I can use emulation software called Whiskey Wine Act, depending on which name you want to call it by. Allows me to emulate uh, Windows games on it. I also have access to Apple's developer tool, the game porting tool. So I can play a lot of the games, a lot of PC games on it with no problem. The
Okay,
hardware is fantastic for it.
so essentially, so if I'm getting this straight, you have an Apple thing that lets you play on PC. Am I correct on that?
Oh, it's called the game porting tool.
Okay, so oh, sis. Oh, 1 second.
Oh, you're good.
Oh wait, so
Because I want to elaborate further on that. Even
yeah,
further
please
so,
do.
thanks to Apple working with developers, they're now making where Metal 3 and Metal 4, because Metal 4 is coming out, is going to work with Vulkan. And Vulkan works with Proton to emulate stuff, which means that it's going to make games on Steam be able to emulate through the Steam app instead of having to do a couple of different workarounds. And there's right now currently somewhere around like 300,000 games that can play on Mac OS and play beautifully. Like I've got like Borderlands 2 installed on my MacBook. Like with the M4 chip with ray tracing turned on at basically 2K. Because I can run it at 4K, but that would kill the battery,
Right.
obviously. Even MacBooks are not insusceptible to games killing battery. But the point is that at 2K, ray tracing on, it looks amazing and it runs beautifully at over 70 frames per second. So why in the hell can't they get Borderlands 4 to do the same thing on hardware that's almost the exact same, if not better?
Because they're late. Because they
Right.
just figured the software is going to fix it for them. That's what the problem is. They figured you know how like you see a sidewalk and it has cracks in it. So all you do is just fill it with cement or something like that. That's what the GPUs are becoming. Like they're becoming the cement fillers of gaming at this point. You made a point last night regarding Cyberpunk 2077, right? That
Yeah.
game in the very beginning was running like dog shit. But it took them maybe a year or two, year and a half, I would say, to finally get everything up to snuff. It finally ran as it should. And then on the cherry on top, they fixed it with DLC or whatnot. Basically 2.0, what have you, right? The thing.
Hey,
Yeah, you're saying?
go ahead and finish. I'll say go ahead and finish, and I'll give you where I stand on that.
The thing is that there are so many people that are going to do their best to finish Borderlands 4. They're going to do everything in their power to, like, grit their teeth through it and then, like, say sayonara to Borderlands until there's DLC. So I don't know what the longevity of Borderlands 4 will be unless they fix everything and make people want to, like, continue playing it, like, even after the fact. But go on, go ahead, Tim. What you were saying?
So a lot of people make fun of Apple for this, right? They make fun of Apple because they're like, oh, they port old games and it takes them forever to port it. There's a reason why. Apple is very stingy and very strict on the software. They want to make sure from head to toe this thing is going to run beautifully, no matter what. Like with Cyberpunk, the reason why it took so long is because they studied it across all the different MacBooks of the M series, from the M1 all the way to the M4, from the highest to the lowest, and they were running everything, trying to optimize to make sure that when you bought it, hey, these are optimized recommendations we have that will ensure that your copy of it will run smoothly and beautifully, and you will get the best performance from it. You will get the best entertainment from it. Again, I go back to like my Borderlands game, Borderlands 2. That's so beautifully optimized. I can play it at 2K, 60 frames a second, and get ray tracing, and it looks beautiful. So that's why I say that Windows games should, like, in general, I think Microsoft should take that approach more now with the games and say, we're going to pull a page out of Apple's book, and we're going to make you optimize the game to run on the hardware, especially because with the Mac, how it is, with Apple in general, the hardware is almost the same across the board. And so I think if Microsoft started pushing harder to say, hey, you need to at least let's optimize it for the last, like, say, 2 generations of graphics cards and CPUs and whatnot, it would help tremendously. But I don't see that happening because, one, Microsoft is lazy, and two, Windows is so poorly optimized itself that I can see how that would turn into a fireball disaster. The biggest thing about it, for me, the biggest thing is this is supposed to be the next generation of games, right? This is on the newest engine with all these quote-unquote world developers that are working on it. And this is meant for, quote, premium gamers, end quote. So, where's the premium game? Where's the, quote, premium game, end quote? Where is that? This is not premium. How comes, like, again, Borderlands 2? I keep going back to that game because it's the standard right there for the Borderlands series. Runs beautifully, runs smoothly, looks great. So how come Borderlands 4 can't do that? On the PS5 Pro, which again, the AMD chip in it, the SoC in it, is very similar to the M3. So, what is this? What is this? It's not okay. Why is the game running at, okay, 720p, 60 frames a second? That's great. That's beautiful. That's exactly what consoles want to do. Play it at a resolution that wouldn't strain the computer too much, at a high frame rate that makes it look smooth, and the game's great. So why is it having these giant memory drops? Why is it leaking the memory from the system that could potentially cause the PS to crash, which means you need to reset it? Why do I have to get up every hour and reset my game? What is this, NES? Are we going back to the NES days now? Because if we're doing that, I'll just go buy an NES then. Because at least once then, I would get more entertainment. The games would actually work. You see, it's infuriating. You're charging all that money for something that barely works. And we're supposed to just sit there and pretend like it's okay. No, it's not okay. This is not okay.
No, it's not. JT in the chat says Borderlands 4 is as good as 2 so far, if not better. All games have the initial burst of people playing that don't normally play the game. The true fan base and fans are longevity, not the people playing just for the longevity of it. Give it a couple of weeks and don't listen to its CEO. everyone knows that CEO is not cool. On console, there's almost no issues.
So here's the fun. So go back and watch my live stream then. To the person who's saying that, go back and watch my live stream. Go to about the 2 hour mark and watch, and tell me that the person who showed the footage is lying. That they were manipulating everything. Show me like proof how they were manipulating the footage, because it's pretty clear the footage wasn't manipulated.
Well,
Because I've been doing video editing for a long time. I know a lot of the tricks that a lot of people know to make footage look a certain way or do a certain thing that gets the reaction that they want. And I can say for certain that footage is not altered.
here's the thing. I did a community post saying that, asking people, hey, who wants to play Borderlands with? They were all huggy. And I got a few hits here and there. But I'm not going to subject my followers to play a game that's going to run badly. I would rather wait. And even if I'm waiting, if people don't want to play, that's fine. Hell, I have an itch to play Borderlands 1, 2, pre-sequel, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, 3.
I heard that got bombed dramatically.
Yeah, but I got it for free, so I'm just, whatever the case.
Hey, you know what? Free is free.
Free is free, fuck it. And like, I want to do all of that with the community. Because number one, it goes faster. Number two, I like to get carried. Number three, is a great time to do it. Like, I would rather do all of that than go to 4, have all these issues, and people don't say, Huggy, I love you, but I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I gotta go. Fuck this game. And I'm left holding the bag. No, Huggy don't hold no bag. I'll wait until this goddamn game gets fixed. Because Lord have mercy. Borderlands, like I said, I was playing with people on Borderlands 3. They left. And I was like, I want to finish the game. And I did finish the game. By myself. Before I had this wonderful community of people. I played it by myself. I beat the game. And it was great. God bless America. But like...
Hey, God bless America.
God bless America. But Borderlands 4, nah, I can't do it. Look, games that are coming out, even though there's something called FOMO, like you feel like you're losing out, if you're not the initial people playing the game. I have so much stuff on Humble Bundle, it's crazy. Like, I would rather just play the free games that will give it to me through Prime and through Epic and whatever the case is, which are games that are, you know, classics or good, like AAA games, but they came out a couple of years ago. I would rather do all of that than pay money now for something that's now and then have to worry about performance issues. I'm not a beta tester.
And here's another thing I want to add to that as well. First, talking about how the fans will carry the game, right? Well, the whole purpose of releasing a new style game like that is to get people to be fans. You want them to be fans to come back and play the game again and again and again. Again, I bring back Borderlands 2. There's a ton of people I know that keep going back and playing Borderlands 2. Even though Borderlands 2 came out in what, 2000? What was it? Was it 14? I think it was it. Maybe earlier than that. But they keep going back to it. A game that's like well over a decade. That almost for certain is. It's almost over a decade. And people keep going back to the game. Because it's fun. It's a great way to get people introduced into the franchise and go, hey, I like this. Because you had a great antagonist, You had a lot of great abilities. The characters were fun. The lines were funny. The gags in the game nailed perfectly, and the storyline was beautiful. Like, and that's the one thing I'll give like pre-sequel credit to is that the ending to it was really cool because it really made you think about what happened in Borderlands 2. It really makes you think about Handsome Jack and really what his motives were. Was his motives really because he was trying to help everybody, or was it that he just was always a greedy monster? Which one was he? You never really knew, and that's what made it great. And that was the problem that a lot of people didn't like about the twins in 3 is that they didn't have the same likableness. But I was like, I didn't want a copy of Handsome Jack, because then why not just bring Handsome Jack back? No, make somebody different. I love the gags that they did with the footage because to me it's like it made me motivated to want to get them. Like, oh, you want to make fun of my friends and everything? Oh, I'm coming for you and I'm coming for your friends. I'm gonna get everybody, get revenge. I thought it was great they had Penn and Teller in there. I loved it. The Penn and Teller lines were just absolutely beautiful. Because I grew up, funny enough, watching Penn and Teller's BS and Penn and Teller to Tell a Lie. I love those shows. They were some of my favorite. I still go back and watch those old episodes because I love listening to it. One of my favorite lines I love using from Penn and Teller is when he was telling somebody who was saying like there was something about something like scientific improvement, and then when he saw the evidence, he goes, "You need to shut the fuck up." I loved it. I love that show. I love Penn and Teller a lot. They're just some of the most greatest entertainers and magicians that have ever lived on the face of this planet, in my opinion, at least. So that pisses me off that Borderlands 4 can't hold up to that candle, not as it is now. Maybe if I play the game, it might be different, right? Maybe I might change my mind, but I'll change my mind when the game actually runs right, when they fix the problems. Because I'm, like you said, I do a lot of beta testing for a lot of different stuff. I even did a little bit of testing for a friend of mine who released a game. It's called Night of the Arbiter Man, which is a great horror, Commodore-style horror game. It's fun. I love playing it. I did some beta testing for him. I'm not doing beta testing. Like, I'll do that for my best friend because that's my best friend. I'm not beta testing for a multi-billion-dollar corporation and paying them the privilege to see. Here's the thing: paying them. That's the problem I have. Is if it was a beta that you could download and test for free and give feedback, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But you gotta pay to play the game. You gotta pay. No, thank you. I'm good. The hell with that. I got other games I can play.
Of course.
And like, am I wrong?
No, you're not, my guy. You're never wrong. By the way, yeah, you're saying?
I was gonna say, oh, by the way, to finish it off, say ignoring the CEO. Okay, then by that logic, if you ever get mad at say whatever Donald Trump says, just ignore what Donald Trump says. You'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, no, that logic doesn't work. I'm sorry, but that logic doesn't work. You can't just ignore. You can't ignore what big people in the businesses and the industry or in politics say, because if you ignore it, the problem gets worse. That's like getting that's like stepping on a rusted nail and then ignoring the fact that you got lockjaw now. Like, I get a test of my shot in like 2 years. Again, logic doesn't make sense.
But you, sir, are like wise and insightful regarding that. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. By the way, like when you said play the game, I couldn't help but like think back. I don't know if you are a wrestling fan, Mr. Timms.
I would say my father was a wrestler. I'm the son of the gentleman Ken Timms, so I'm really familiar with wrestling.
Like. Did you get? Okay, so let me ask you something, real quick, cause I it just thought in my head. Have you been following WWE's ESPN plan and whatnot?
Oh yeah,
What
the Disney merged with ESPN and Hulu to make it all one app called ESPN Plus.
what do you think about the fact that you would have to pay $30 to watch a WWE PLE?
So I would have a problem if it was just WWE, but the thing that people ignored is that it's TKO completely, so everything they own, which includes UFC and whatever that bowl championship thing is. It's all that plus what's on Disney Plus. So everything you want to watch from Disney and the sports are all being moved to one app. So I find it reasonable that you're paying $30 a month for that kind of access. Because here's the thing. If you think that's bad, go take a look at what YouTube's doing with the YouTube Premium Family Plan. 6 people, $30 a month. Versus the Disney Plus, they can share it up to like, I think it was 12 is what they said. So to me, it's unreasonable to say that it's just that's a bad deal. It's a pretty good deal if you break down the fact that let's take a look at the model they had. If you wanted to watch Raw, you had to have a subscription to Netflix.
Yeah.
And let's watch VPN. If you wanted to watch it, which that means you would also have to pay for a good VPN to be able to connect to Canada to watch the pay-per-view. If you want to watch in the US, you had to pay Peacock. And then we all know, let's say we go for like the base amount for Netflix, which is like $5 or $6, and that includes ads. But you only get 1080p. You don't get 4K quality. And they've also shown that you don't actually get 1080p. You get like step below it. But they upscale it in a way that makes it look like 1080p. If you didn't know that, now you do. Congratulations. Only if I had that soundboard button. Congratulations. And hit the coat clap. Call me review tech. Anyways.
Oh.
That's what I'm. That's about that. Yeah. But then let's go to Peacock, right? You go to the base amount. This is something you don't pick the annual plan. You pick the monthly plan, which is what people normally get. Now you're paying $7 for Peacock to just to watch the pay-per-views and the back catalog. But if you want to watch SmackDown, you got to pay for Hulu. Now that's another $7. That's adding up pretty quickly, isn't it? And if you want the quality stuff, like the Plus, to get to see the live sports for Hulu and everything, to get like the 4K quality, now you're looking at $20. Netflix, $20. If you want the 4K for Peacock, you're looking at 14 plus. That's the math adds up pretty quickly. It starts getting like I might as well buy cable then. Levels of expensive. So I didn't have a problem with that. If it was just WWE, I would have a problem. I would have a major problem. But because you're getting more than just WWE, you're getting all the live sports, college football, some pro football, and like I said, MMA, and whatever that bowl championship fighting thing is, because I don't care for that kind of stuff. You're getting all of that for $30 a month, plus access to Disney Plus. So you're getting all of that for a pretty good package deal. But I'll also say I'm going to wait to see what the quality will actually be, because knowing my luck, it'll be like 720p or something like that, because for some reason they decided to go to Randy and go, hey, can you help us optimize our software? We heard this newfangled thing called the Unreal Engine can help us.
I think that it's going to take people a long while to understand the concept of voting with your wallet. And then until people realize that if you stop paying exorbitant amount of money for inferior product, guess what? They're not going to fuck with you anymore. It's the same thing with like the Switch 2. When everyone and their mother found out about how the Switch 2 has bad business practice and like it's not really a
Oh
true,
yeah, the breaking the end
yeah,
user license agreement to break it whenever Nintendo feels like doing it. The fact they can spy on you and everything you're doing with the device.
yeah.
If even remotely open it up to try and like say even clean the device, they can break it and then demand a ransom to fix it. It's like really,
But
and then
yeah,
I was gonna say the part that really got me was the game cards. They don't even have the games on them. They've made cards that hold terabytes of storage. I noticed SD cards that hold terabytes of storage because I have one, and it works fantastic. So no, I don't believe you can't put the game on the card. You just don't want to. Whether it be for lazy reasons or because Nintendo has some kind of business deal where if you try to do that, they'll sue you for $1 billion or something like that. Because Nintendo is fucking sue happy. They should change the name from Nintendo to then sue you.
what like I said, people will excuse Nintendo for all this stuff. Will excuse it for trying to patent in the whole idea of summoning creatures and capturing creatures, the
Which that got
breaking,
approved.
yeah, the game and stuff like the game cards and whatnot. People will do all that, but but the thing is, they won't boycott bad business practice, but they'll boycott games like Ghost of Yotai. You know, where someone made fun of Charlie Kirk's death, and there's supposedly woke stuff like, oh, the lead character may be a lesbian, and that they're gonna make the guys look inferior, or and everything else in between. But they'll be vocal about boycotting that, which they should, and you know, it's your American right, but you'll vocally virtue signal that, but you won't say with your chest held high, I'm going to boycott Nintendo for trying to destroy the hobby I love with these patents, these lawsuits. No, that's okay, but you're going to go after developers and games like that.
So I want to say this about the Charlie Kirk thing, and I've
Yeah,
made this clear on my live stream. While I didn't agree with everything that Charlie said, I agree with some of the religious aspect. I'm also a Christian myself. I'm very thankful about that. Like he was. That's truly what I believe. Whether or not if you agreed with his politics didn't matter. The man was brutally murdered in front of his own children. His daughter, his 3-year-old daughter, ran up to him, begging for him to protect her while he bled out. To make fun of that is not only insane, but it shows that you truly are not human. Because anybody who's human would actually have some, not empathy, but some sympathy, some compassion for the fact that these children are going to live with this trauma. That 3-year-old is going to remember that for the rest of her life. She's going to remember that. There's no amount of therapy that's going to fix that. There's no amount of therapy in this world, in the next world, or whatever we want to point to, even the next galaxy, that could possibly fix that. And the 1-year-old is never going to get to know who her father was, except through pictures and YouTube videos. That's it. That's all they're going to have. So to make fun of that, yes, you deserve to be boycotted. Yes, you deserve to be canceled. Fuck your game. Making fun of somebody's death is horrendous no matter what. I don't care if the person was Democrat. If a Democrat right now, if like let's use Joe Biden for example. Let's say Joe Biden gets shot, right? I'm going to demand that person be executed the same way I'm demanding that Tyler be executed. Justice equally for all, no matter what. Political violence is political violence, and it should be condemned for it. And if you're supporting it, you deserve to get canceled. Very simple. However, I don't know how this is critical because there isn't a lot of people who are boycotting Nintendo. But then again, if you're vocal about Nintendo, you also get sued.
Of course, like I said, like you have a right to boycott whatever you want to boycott, but then don't do this. But now boycott Nintendo. But don't be like people not vocal about because they literally bullying the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's like that's why I haven't bought. The last time I bought a Nintendo product was the N64. Excuse me, was the Wii. That was the last time I actually bought Nintendo products. Like my sister-in-law has a Switch, but I refuse to play. I refuse to touch any of those devices. I refuse to support Nintendo. Just after all they've done, no, thank you. I'm good. They're all so happy, anti-consumer, anti-charity. They're so anti-everything that I don't understand how anybody could support the company. I don't. It makes no sense to me. Yay, they made Mario for the 1,500th time in a row. Woo. Yeah, they made Mario Kart. Woo.
By the way, they're charging $70 for Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. You excited about that?
Whoa. That's awesome that they're selling games that are how old again?
20+ years old, my guy. 20+ years old. Now, I could argue if you put in Mario Sunshine and the 2 Galaxy games, I could rock with that. I'll rock with the $70 price tag. There's no shame in my game. But for just those 2 games, nah, son. I'm good. Fucking.
Like I said, I don't. It's like let's use an example of something that's in the boycott. Sony last year, and News Rossman did a video about it if you want to go watch it. Sony pulled everybody's PlayStation off the hard drive itself, which means they have access to your system like that. Yeah, not okay by any stretch of the imagination there. We're going to pull all of the shows and movies you bought that Discovery Time Warner Discovery was going to pull all of that you didn't own the product, that you bought basically a lifetime renter's license to it. For example, like the show Mythbusters was one of them that was going to get pulled. People paid it was something like $70, $80 for the whole series of Mythbusters to watch on their PlayStation. That's supposed to be directly on their hard drive, not in the cloud, on the hard drive. And they were going to pull it. They were going to make it to where you couldn't watch it because they, quote unquote, couldn't come to a license agreement. And they got so much backlash that they obviously reversed it. But here's the thing. That should have never happened from the start. Because if you buy a product, you should own the product. That's my problem with it in general. Is that when you buy a product, you should own it. You should not have to wonder if you can't. If you buy the product, will they support it tomorrow? Again, I can understand electronic hardware to an extent. I can't understand why if I buy Mythbusters on the PlayStation, I can't watch it because they can't come to a license agreement. That's not going to be any of my problem or any of my business. If I buy it and I own it. And if it's anything but I own it, I want my money back. And that's what people, like you talked about it, people don't understand. Is that, They don't understand that you don't really own the products now. Again, for example, like iOS. When you buy an iPhone, you don't own the copy of iOS that's on your phone. You have a license to use it. When you bought the phone, you bought a license. That's understandable. You shouldn't be able to own an operating software like that unless it's Windows. Because the idea is that when you bought the product, you bought the phone, not the software. You bought the hardware, so you should be able to do whatever you want with the hardware. So I can understand iOS and macOS in that aspect not being owned a license, because you can do whatever you want with hardware. They've shown time and time again how to break the boot lockers to modify your phone as you see fit. When you buy a MacBook example, you own the MacBook. Apple doesn't own your MacBook, you own it. Then you may have only a license to the software, but you own the laptop, you own the hardware. You can do as you see fit with the hardware. And it should have been the same for the Switch. And then when you bought the Switch, you owned the hardware, that you could do whatever you want with the hardware. Maybe the software might be a different story. Maybe you shouldn't be allowed to pirate the OS. But however, when you bought the hardware, you should be allowed to modify the hardware as you see fit. If you want to modify it with 500 OLED screens, you should be allowed to modify it with 500 OLED screens as you see fit. Not worry about if the company is going to sue you tomorrow because they didn't like the fact that you modified the hardware because you decided to add an extra 8 gigabytes of RAM to the system to make it run smoother. That should not be okay. And people should not be okay with that. But like you said, people don't understand voting with your wallet. People just take a look at the commercial and go, ooh, shiny, and buy it. It's like gaming laptops from Windows. A lot of people just look at it, ooh, shiny, and buy it, and not realize that they're getting screwed. Especially if they're buying Razer products. Am I wrong here?
Each their own Razer products, my guy. Those are like, no, Razer products are trash.
I could buy a MacBook that will be 10 times superior for the exact same price tag as what they're charging for that. My MacBook in my bag right now, that's the base M4 13-inch model with only a terabyte of storage, is superior to anything that is Razer. And I will gladly bet on that. Because I know I will win 10 times out of 10.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious, my guy. No, you're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. Look, like I said, when it comes to technology, people are very fickle. Like, I didn't realize that the new iPhone 17 came out. Who cares? It's the same thing.
It's got a slightly new design. The only thing that mattered with the iPhone 17 was the change of the hardware on the Pro and the fact that there's a whole new iPhone that's the world's thinnest phone. That's the only thing that really mattered. Sure, the watch got an extra update. Sure, the new AirPods have active translation and better hearing protection. And now you get satellite connection with the new Ultra Watch, so you can use it like your iPhone to contact emergency services. That's cool. But there was not really much to talk about. Again, if you go back and watch my live stream, I'm not trying to self-advertise. I'm just making a point here. If you go back and watch it, I wasn't really excited about any of the other phones other than the Air, because the Air I found very fascinating. I thought it was really cool. Even with the Pro, and like the Pro, I absolutely ripped into, because that orange color is the most god-awful orange color I have ever seen in my entire life. I never thought I hated the orange color before. Now I hate it. It is god-awful. Yeah, all dropping, more like awful dropping.
Oh, listen. when
It was like
when
watching Review take his shirt off.
oh god, oh fuck, oh blah.
I
Review
knew that
Tech
would do it for you.
Review Tech USA is just special.
He's a scumbag.
He's a very special boy. He doesn't review any tech. All he does is review fucking DSP and cry about stuff.
Charlie
All the
Kirk's
time.
wife.
That too. Doesn't review any
Apparently he's
tech. What happened?
getting sued. According to a post I had found on Twitter, it's alleged that he's potentially a part of a lawsuit with multiple other people and corporations who all signed Eric and Kirk. And I was like, yes, it was true. Yes, get him, get him, sue him, sue him. I want to see that man cope in seasoning pork. It would be great. I'd milk that for all it's worth.
By the way, besides tech, like I saw that on your other streams, you talk about other stuff. I think you were covering about the Jay stuff. Jay, who is the former editor of Review Tech USA.
Oh, yes, I did.
Can you give me like a summary of your thoughts and your feelings about that situation?
Are you referring to his Discord server situation, or are you referring to Review Tech versus Jay?
Review Tech versus Jay. Yes.
So my thoughts on were, because now I absolutely despise JKB. He's a piece of trash. As I came to find out, he was a piece of trash to his best friend Eric.
Okay.
He's a piece of trash again. If you fell off a cliff, I would ask how long it hits the ground. The thing about it is, when it first all went down, I was pissed at Review Tech because I had recently been let off of my job who wasn't really paying me what they should have been paying me for the work that I was doing. They tried to stifle me on my last check. So for him to do that, I saw that as disrespectful. Not just from a friend. Like, that's why I don't mix friendship with business like that. If we're doing business, it's a business thing. We can be friends outside of the business interactions, but when it comes to the business interactions, we're not friends, we're business partners. There's a difference. So I saw that as Rich is immature, doesn't know how to balance his books, and doesn't care to take care of his employees. And so I felt a lot of pity. And as the more it went on, the more I hated it. Because at the end of the day, it proved this. It proved that Review Tech is immature, unlogical, can't think for himself. He doesn't take care of himself, and he's a sociopath. He cares for no one but himself. And it proved that Jay, at first, was a good guy, but now we all know what he is. It showed that truly that Review Tech USA was dependent on Jay Hoop's editing, not Rich's quote-unquote talent and his quote-unquote Netflix documentary, which, by the way, he re-uploaded that, but he did it in the form of an ASMR video. Well, a multi-part ASMR video. But I'm not looking forward to reacting to that, because ASMR is garbage. And it also proved that Review Tech was not knowledgeable in computers and technology. It was Jay. It was Jay that knew it. It was Jay that knew the technology, knew what to say and what to do. It was Jay. Jay ran that channel. Review Tech was just the face. Or I should say, Rich was just the face, unfortunately. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You know, like I said, it's Jay is a weird person. He copes a lot, way too much. And look, I remember when Rich was giving him the business. Rich was salting the earth on this man's property, figuratively speaking. And what does Jay do? Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's be friends. And I'm like, you puss. You are such a puss. You don't stand on your own 2 feet, my guy. You're like, you want to be back with Daddy Review Tech. And then the whole Discord thing happened, and bro, I was keeping my eye on it, and then when you were talking about it, that shit got me laughing. I'm like, oh shit, and then I completely forgot to watch your take on it. But knowing how you carry yourself, Tim's, it must have been a very good take you had on Jay during your stream.
When I
So,
got it up and working, the point I made was that Jay threw, because here's the thing, I knew Robin Tackle very well. So I used to be friends with her, but we had a falling out because she tried to bury the hatchet with me in 1-2 cents. I'll never bury the hatchet with the man who not only accused me of being a sexual predator, but accused my father, who's been dead for 21 years, of being a sexual predator. My father, who never did anything to anybody,
wait, are you
who
talking
was a
about?
great man.
Wait, I got lost. Are you talking about the fuck boy, or are you talking about a Rich?
I'm talking about 1-2 cents. 1-2, world's biggest
Oh,
jackass.
oh, I thought you were talking about the big-headed Florida boy, but continue. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Rich also insulted my father as well, as I found out from Eric, which pissed me all the way off, and that's why I started A-logging him again. And my thing
No,
is,
I thought you were talking
you can
about
insult me
Triton.
all
That's
you
what I meant to
want.
say.
I don't
I thought you were
care.
talking about Triton.
You insult my father, you incur my wrath.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Lord Triton for a second, but continue.
Well, yeah, Lord Trine did the same. I'm noticing a pattern of people who go after my father because they can't go after me. I'm noticing a pattern. You just pointed that out to me. I appreciate that.
No problem, buddy. But continue.
So to get back to it, the point I was getting at was that he threw RoboTalk on the bus when he should have taken the responsibility. Because here's the thing, like I pointed out, he makes it to where he seems like he doesn't own the Discord server, but he does. It's known for a fact he owns the Discord server. It's provable. So, and I stated in my live stream, it would be like if I had a sexual predator in my server and someone pointed out to me, hey, he was a sexual predator, you need to get rid of him, and I don't get rid of him, then it's my responsibility if something happens. For example, Twang is the only time I'll ever kill this motherfucker with anything. So if Twang's listening, you better clip this because this is the only time you're ever going to hear this out of my mouth. I credit him with pointing out that Finn's Nest, who was a former business associate of mine, who was still in my Discord at the time he made that Twitter post, was a convicted child predator. He had 5 counts of child pornography. And when I found out, I immediately kicked his ass out, cut all ties with him, and made a 2-hour live stream where I roasted that man alive because he didn't tell me he was a convicted child predator. Because my server is a 16-plus server, which means it's really meant for adults, but the kind of content is 16-plus. I don't allow for adult-only content for obvious reasons.
Of course.
So when I found out about that, obviously I was enraged. And so was a lot of people, because he was friends with everybody, including Smash JT. Which, by the way, Smash JT tried to weasel his way out of that one. Yeah, he tried to say, like, oh, he doesn't keep with anybody's business and he doesn't make any sense. I'm like, man, really? But that's a whole side tangent about him. Because some of his mods in his community hate me too, which is really funny. I'm building a list of a lot of haters.
As you should.
I'm going to have a list longer than the Jeffrey Epstein list.
Oh, God. Listen, a lot of people, when you drama with someone, Tim, it's beautiful. You know why? Because you don't even get mad at people. You're just like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, you deal with the nonsense, and then your enforcers or the people in your chat just deal with it.
Oh my
And
god!
it's
Someone the other day that was trying to troll me on Twitter, and was because they were defending Charlie Kirk's death and everything, and I called them out for it. Was like, "You're a coward. You lost the train, and you know it." I said, "How did I lose? What's your evidence?" Never posted any evidence. They just kept whining about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, because you got no proof. I won. I didn't have to fight him. I knew exactly what to do. Walk away." Let him stop looking like a bad guy, which is exactly what he did. He got kicked out of a whole bunch of communities. But apparently he is in JKB server, which is really funny because we all know that Train and his group is a bunch of degenerates. One of them literally raised by a KKK member. Yeah. I'll let you figure out which one was part of that
oh
group.
boy.
And we all know Train's hate for Jewish people because I showed that with Chemo Star on my live stream. So like all I had to do was just let him run his mouth, and he looked like the bad guy. That's all it took. Just let the because the thing is, at first I was pissed off when I heard about the things he had said about my father, but and this is where I credit Coalfire with this. Coalfire showed me that letting my emotions, like going after him emotionally, would not help my situation. Instead, I needed to take a step back and just realize that I'm dealing with somebody who's very immature, who doesn't understand how any of this works. He just makes up things and hopes that people just buy into it. Once I understood that, that's when I pretty much had him in the bag.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Listen, you Mr. Timms, are wealth. I mean a wealth of talent, prestige, all the good things, my guy. And nothing would make my heart happier if I could get big-headed boy to come into my playground. Oh boy, I would love to see you two fight one last time, like Hogan and Sting back in '98, buddy. That would be
Except your match would actually be entertaining.
that would be hilarious.
And the correct person would win too. Because like, here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
And like I've told Review Tech, because Review Tech, again, like I said, Eric has like showed me a lot of stuff. Because Eric would be like looking for stuff that he says about him, and he would tell me that he would like send me clips and go, "Yeah, here's a clip of him coping and seething about you before he even started his live stream." Literally, Review Tech was playing one of my videos right as he started up his live stream. And then he realized what he was doing and switched it over to his start screen. And I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, thank you for the free advertisement. I netted like 4 more subscribers because of that. I didn't even do anything. That's the funny part about that. I did nothing to him. That man close to serious about every person that talks about him. I'm like, if I was obsessed about people like that, I would have no life. I'd be too busy watching people. I don't know how Review Tech has the time to do any of that when he allegedly is a father of 3 children. And lives with his parents. I mean, how the hell does he have this kind of time? I gotta know. I really want to know. It's so funny. And we all know that I'd roast that man alive in a debate. I really would. Pretty easy to do. Ames showed exactly what to do. But I would be seeking to one-up Ames.
Oh, of
Because rather
course.
than yelling and getting emotional, I'd just stay calm the entire time, no matter what he would say. Oh,
You're like
cool,
a
you insulted my father, but I thought you didn't agree with attacking. Okay, cool. So you're calling my father a predator, right? Okay. I thought we didn't attack people's family. Because didn't you go after Ames for allegedly going after your daughter, even though you're the reason why she's blind? He
fucking.
would spurring out instantly at that one.
Of course.
Instantly.
Of course. Of course. But real quick, will you be streaming later on tonight?
I plan on streaming on tonight. Episode of the Tim's Cast and I'll be live on the check.
Oh, what will you be covering, my friend?
I'm going to be covering Review Tech slandering Erica Kirk.
Okay.
My God. Oh my God, I'm really not looking forward to that one. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Borderlands 4 situation. And kind of just mouth off about whatever else I feel like finding.
And will this be a panel show or will this be like a solo show?
It'll be a panel show. I've got my good buddy Coalfire coming on. I'm talking to some other people to see if they want to come on tonight.
Ooh.
Because usually it's me and Coalfire, sometimes me, Coalfire, and my financial backer, one of my best friends.
My new
He goes by the name. Yeah, I actually do. I legitimately have one. He literally goes by the nickname the Devil's Hacker.
Bro, you got yourself a.
Like he pays for like my business Apple and Google accounts.
Oh my god.
I've got access to stuff that most people don't have access to. And it's really nice.
Look,
Like for example, say Review Tech wanted to sue me because I made a YouTube video about him. Google would actually send their lawyers on their behalf to defend me. Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got that level of access.
Oh shit. Then the Tim's more like Pimp Daddy.
Yeah, Tim's the pimp.
Okay, okay. Well,
Call me pimp
look,
named Slipback.
well, what time is that? What time will that start? Your stream.
It'll be 9:45 tonight.
9:45. What CT PC?
It'll be
What?
EST, Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, okay, big boy, okay. I mean, I will do the best I can to come by, but chances are I'll be medicating myself before, with because of this cold. But I will do the best I can to reach out. But I want to thank you, Tim's, for coming on early in the morning, blessing us with your presence, your thoughts, and your feelings about these various topics. You're more than welcome to promote in the chat. I will definitely, I will definitely post your, I will post your link in the chat as well too, my guy. But with that being said, thank you so much for coming by. Okay, buddy.
You always have a blessed day, and like I said, you're always welcome to come on my show anytime. Just let me know.
I will. Thank you so much. Bye. Boom. Okay, good. I did it. Okay. There is a few things I wanted to show in the in the chat. In the chat, but let's see. Where are you? Fuck you. Okay, good. Empty. Empty. Booyah. Come on. Make it live. Oh, here you go. Perfect. Capture that. And we go here. Wanted to show you this lovely post. Starting to pop a little bit, not gonna lie, but LOL. Someone got mad. Back to hiatus I go. Hopefully I don't celebrate anyone while I'm gone. And then it says, community guidelines warning, your content will smash his life. Peepaws new show, MAGA edits, Lamar was something something. Here's what we found. Harassment and cyberbullying. Content that targets someone with prolonged insults or slurs based on their intrinsic attributes isn't allowed on YouTube. That includes dehumanizing someone, blah blah blah. What's next? If you select to take action, you can appeal if you think we got it wrong, and you could take an optional training something. Okay. Now. Okay, so. Few things. Fucking hell. 1 second. Real quick. 1 second. Oh, fuck. Okay, before I say my thoughts, I have to use the bathroom. So I'll put the BRB screen, and I'll play some music. I'll be right back. Sorry I took so long. But just to quickly recap, if fucking Peepaw had took, well, let me see if I can pull it back up. Yeah, if Peepaw had legitimately got this taken down because of bullying, that is not good, bro. Like, look, will I say that Peepaw, Peepaw is getting bullied by these people, by Maggot and friends, about the PDF claims? At this point, like, Peepaw is just minding his business, from what I'm seeing, and they're going a little hard to the hole. But here's the thing, though. You have to actively go on their channel, and you would have to look for it. It's not, and this is no offense to them, it's not like they are so profoundly great that they're on your fucking welcome dashboard. It's not like they're doing numbers like Rockefellers. It's not like you could avoid. It's like you cannot avoid them. They're a small YouTube channel, so for people or for anyone that's a people acolyte, for them to see this stream and they get community guideline strike, you're really searching for it. Now, on the other flip side, is like, guys, I understand that content wise, you guys are a bit retarded. Like, you guys don't know how to talk about anything else besides Peepaw, old drama, whatnot, and like, I understand that. It's your guys' bread and butter. All you guys do is just do Discord calls or whatnot, and you just go meandering about all this stuff. Not, I mean, I'm not judging you guys as, no, I'm not judging you guys as people. I'm judging you guys as YouTubers. And yes, I'm a Clips channel. I understand that. But, but as of right now, the Clip channel is doing better than this fucking. It's doing better as of right now. Okay? So, and granted, before I was a Clip channel, ladies and gentlemen, I did streams too. I've had people watch me too, so I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about as well too. I'm just saying. With the criticisms I'm levying towards you guys could be like, oh, you just a Clip channel. Okay, wherever the case is. Like I said, every single time I talk about this side of YouTube, I continually say this. If you're equating my success with being a Clip channel, do it. Do clips. Find someone and clip their stuff. And then making sure that people will want to fucking watch your summaries of events. Do it. Do it. And like I said, do that plus the wall smashes and whatnot. But I digress. I would recommend, you don't have to do anything. I'm just suggesting. How about you shut the fuck up about Peepaw? Peepaw is doing streams with his wife. Leave him the fuck alone. Who cares? Okay? Worry about your guys' self. Because at this point it's just slander. All you guys are just doing is just saying that he does weird things with little kids and whatnot. I'm sorry. It's just like, enough is enough. I know you guys are starving for content, And like you guys talking about the Charlie Kirk stuff, and like I went in for a little bit, and it's just like I don't know what the fuck you guys were doing. I think you guys were trying to be funny. You guys like I would just say content wise, you guys are the emotional. You guys have the emotional maturity of a child when it comes to important topics. God forbid someone gets R-worded or someone gets essayed, you guys will fucking find a joke about that and giggle about it. That's how emotionally retarded you guys can be. So it doesn't surprise me that you guys talk about people. It doesn't surprise me that you got community guideline strike. But again, it goes to both of you guys are stupid. People are stupid, and the fucking friends are stupid for seeking this out and making an effort to get this community guideline strike. On the other side of the fence, it's stupid that you guys are making a point to fucking talk about this old man and fucking continually defraud him on a fucking take he said, a stupid fucking take, I might add. Okay? And also, it doesn't. And again, yes, he insinuated that one of the fucking host's boyfriends plays Roblox and he's a shame person and whatnot. He like just because he plays Roblox, like people are just assuming that he's doing something bad. I totally understand this whole fucking scorched earth on that. But again, when is enough when it comes to that? Like, where is it? Where at what point is it like enough's enough? Let's move on to something else. All you guys are doing is trolling intros. It's not like you go. It's not like you go to a pattern behavior where people literally. All it was like he went on War Smashers and he made a thing about fucking child marriages to defend fucking Mike, keeping on the camera, right? Then the next thing was he was hosting Wall Smashers. Hamilton came about, and then he doubled down on it. Okay, and then after that, I think people gave up. No, and then after that, a while later, he talked about D-Max and Roblox and insinuating that maybe he's one of these weird people that's like Starman 3 or whatnot. But after that, again, I'm just focusing on my stuff. I just saw this on my timeline. So unless you are telling me that people said something else, you guys gotta quit it. You should quit it. I recommend you quit it. That's my opinion. But fuck me, right? I'm just a clip channel, and I'm always gonna bring that up. That you guys continue to say I'm a clip channel, but fuck me, right? But I hope it gets cleared up. I hope that people clears this community guideline strike. I hope, and if it wasn't people himself that did the community guideline strike, I hope he speaks to the person that did the community guideline strike to take it off so it could be put back up. Because again, to be quite frank with you, Wall Smashers itself is a big community guideline strike. With a whole bunch of retardation, nonsense, and whatnot. So you can't fault them for being emotionally stupid at times. You just can't. And again, I'm not trying to attack them as people, I'm just attacking the content. Because again, I think that the people themselves are really good at, like if you really give them topics to talk about that they really know about, and there's no way, shape, or form to talk about calling each other P words and whatnot, I think it would be a great fucking show, in my opinion. But then when you descend into, like, making fun of an old man, making fun of other people, not staying on track about stuff, it doesn't help. And also another thing about people is, what happened to the fucking show? There's a new fucking show where you have a roulette thing and You have guests on, and then you have people pay a bounty. What happened to that show? Did that fucking thing die out, people? What the fuck happened? Like, did you give up so badly because a bunch of people bullying you? Is that what happened? Please don't tell me that's the truth. Please don't fucking tell me that you're abandoning yet another premise, which again was pretty brilliant. And you decide to say, F it, I'm just gonna do some other show with my wife. Hopefully it lasts just as long as your this other show. But I saw this on the timeline. I think I just give it a little bit a speakeroo about that. Let's see. All right, cool. But let me turn this off for a bit. There you go. But like I said, I think I've streamed 3 times in a row. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself that I've been streaming constantly. I will say that I know the oversaturation of me streaming constantly has deteriorated the show quite a bit, which is fine. But I wanted to get back into the swing of things. I wanted to there's so many fucking things here. Wow, this is crazy. Anyways. Okay, show movement. Cool. I was just checking something to see who I wanted to raid. Chud. Whatever. Who cares? I'll just do this. Chances are she blocked me, but I don't give a fuck. Anyways. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting. As usual, you guys are the best. You guys are the sweetest. But I will try not to die or succumb to sickness as I battle this cold on a football set Sunday. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Stay blessed, stay great, and if you guys stay for the redirect, show your love to Horror Hellfire.